Yo, big fan, BC with the Brooklyn Nets vlog. I just pulled up real quick to say, give my respects to Keon Johnson. You know what I'm saying? I want to say you did your thing while you was here. Know what I mean? You went and got a G League contract, and then we see the potential in the Summer League. We see the raw talent. We see that we give credence to the coaching staff with Jordy Fernandez, seeing that you was the right one to come up from the G League, seeing that, you know what I'm saying, giving you the opportunities, you made the most out of it, you know what I mean? And I want to say thank you, man. It was a great thing that, you know what I'm saying, Keon Johnson was on the team. Appreciate you. But I can't forget the intro.
BROOKLYN, BROOKLYN,
Come on, you know this. You
BROOKLYN, we rally.
Yo, it's Big Fan Breezy. Hey man, yo Ice, yo, what up, Ice? Yo, yeah, I'm gonna just throw the link in the chat. You know what I'm saying? Cause I like Keon Johnson. You know what I mean? Yo, what up, player one? You know what I'm saying? Keon Johnson, they showed that they take a lot of 3 pointers. The coaching staff, for you to get NBA minutes, the guards got to be able to knock down a 3 pointer. You know what I mean? But you gotta I don't think it should go from 28 feet to 30 feet or whatnot. If I'm correct, but I do think that they gotta have more offense inside the 3 point lines. Keon Johnson, they say he had the highest vert in the league, but he wasn't dunking wild crazy like that, going up nobody's chest. He was just taking mad 3 pointers. And I respect that. I think NBA players have longer NBA careers. You know what I mean? Because of that, but you know, it is what it is. Like I said, I ain't gonna be here a long time. Know what I mean? This ain't one of them long streams. You know what I'm saying? Right up. I'm just, wanted to say how I felt about Keon Johnson. Mm. And I do think Keon Johnson playing as well as he did is part of the reason why I feel the way I do about the player development with the coaching staff. I feel like they a good coaching staff for player development because of Keon Johnson. I gotta respect that. So, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Wu Pig in the chat. I mean, shout out to Player One. Shout out to Ice. Out you. Feel like Keon Johnson, he did what they asked him to do. They asked him to shoot the three ball at you know what I mean, a large rate, and that's what he had to do. Shout out to Javon Ship in the chat. What up, Javon? It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Keon Johnson is going to be an NBA player. I do not know who's going to pick him up. Is he going back to the G League? I don't know. I think does he stay in the NBA? I don't know. He might toggle. He might go back to the G League. I can't call it. I can't call it with spoiler. Does he stay an NBA player now? Or no? Javon Ship said, I like Keon, but we have too many players. I'm with you, bro. I ain't fighting that. It is what it is. You feel me? Shout out to Ice in the building. What up, Ice?
Yo, chilling, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yo, you see, Orange Spiegel said Keon would likely sign with the Suns. I agree, Oren. You know how he got that relationship with Sean Marks got that relationship with the Suns for the minimum too, right? Yeah, he'll take that. It's better than G League money. Probably talking about minimum shit. With that, we looked at numbers with Oren, me and Ice. I forget. I don't know if Ice was there. And it was like you get like 2 million in the G League. You make like $40,000. Imagine going from you at work and you could go from $40,000 to 2 million. That's serious money. Like I told y'all, Keon Johnson was playing like he ain't never going back to the G League. What up though? Ice, talk to me, man. Keon Johnson going back to the G League or he's staying in the NBA?
Ah, Keon probably gonna stay. I don't know. I don't think he's gonna go back to the G. Somebody might pick him up on a roster. You know what I'm saying? It's possible he can end up back down there, but you know what I'm saying? I think he's good enough to play or be on someone's team. You know what I mean?
Yo, so let's call it what it is. Ice, who next, man? You got Pig talking about Ricky Council the fourth. He out of here too, bro. He in the way. Like he see a two guard. We don't need you. We got Cam Thomas. I'm
Yeah,
saying go to a different team.
we got 11 two guards. I say 10 because one of them going to the G. Uh, Maybe two, but the rest is on the roster. Like who next? My boy Tyrese Martin and Jay Wills and Drew Timmy. Those three might be next.
Okay. Okay. Say that again. Say that again. Who?
My boy Tyrese Martin,
Yeah.
Drew Timmy, and Jalen Wilson. They might be gone.
Yeah, I agree with you. You know, see, my thing is, Jalen Wilson. He showed that he could be streaky. He do some of the other things, but you know, for the most part, it's yeah. As much as I want to say, it's like he's at a space where you do consider keeping. You know, you do consider keeping J Will, but keeping J Will over who? Who minutes he's supposed to get? Like, you gonna give him Wolf minutes? Nah, you wanted to see what Wolf got. You want to see Wolf play. With Jalen Wilson, you know what I'm saying? What if Wolf shoot better and grab more rebounds than Jalen Wilson? You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. So, and Drew Timmy, yeah, Drew Timmy, you think he an NBA player or he go back to the G League?
I think Timmy an NBA player. I don't think Timmy too good for the G League. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? But he gonna end up on some. I think. See, Jay Wills might be the only guy that I'm not sure if he's gonna end up on somebody's bench, but he probably will. I think all those guys end
Bruh,
up on somebody's team.
if he come off of the Spurs bench, I'm gonna be hot because I know he got family out there in Houston. Like you know how Sean Marks is, he be sending players where they want. So he fuck around and be in one of those teams. Look for Houston, Dallas, the Spurs. I might be missing a team, but I think it's those three. Yeah, he trying to play over there where he close to his family. Trust that. Trust that he'll come off the bench for one of those teams. Come off the bench with over Houston. Easy work. Easy work. You already got to deal with Sagoon, and then you got to as soon as Sagoon goes to the bench, you got to deal with Timmy. That's trouble, man.
Yeah,
That's I don't know. I don't know. He would be good on Houston. You feel me? And who else was the Spurs? Yeah, the Spurs need that interior paint defense and all of that. It's a big man. They got a lot of guard play there. They ain't got nobody that can create inside the 3 point like that. You put Timmy in
yeah.
there, and you get Wemby going to the bench, and you got Timmy coming in. Oh yeah, and he a little older than I think yeah he just be good there too. Yo, his price might he might hit him with the yesterday's price shit. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna lie to you. He'll be
Yeah.
good for those two teams. And what was the other one? I said Houston and Dallas. I don't know. Dallas kind of loaded. They wouldn't need Timmy.
Nah, nah. You heard Kendrick Perkins talk about Drew Timmy once he was in the summer league. He said, "Get Drew Timmy off the nets and put him on somebody's team, a good team that's good.
Mm-hmm.
Put him on a championship roster, a playoff roster, or something. Drew Timmy got something to offer."
Mm-hmm. See, like at the end of the day, it's just the business of basketball. Ricky Council, Keon Johnson, Drew Timmy, Jalen Wilson. So you mentioned three. That's then you got Keon Johnson. That's
Four.
four, and then
You
Ricky
still need,
Council. That's five.
yeah. You still need at 5. You still need one more. You still got,
Okay, hold on.
yeah.
Um, hmm, mm. Tucson. They already cut Tucson off the team.
Oh yeah. So that might be it. That might be it. Because
I'm not
Tucson.
cutting Dayron Sharp, man. Let's get
Nah,
it together.
nah, it was Tucson. It was Tucson. So if Ricky Council don't make it, that's it. Because they already took Tucson off the roster, so that'll be it. Tucson, Ricky, Drew Timmy, uh, Jalen Wilson, Tyrese Martin, and Keon Johnson.
Interesting.
So
That
who
that
does that? Who you said is the sixth guy? Sixth player?
Keon. Uh,
No, the sixth player. He was a okay. So the three
oh,
guys you mentioned. Hold on, my fault.
no, I
You
got you. I got
mentioned
you. So Ricky Council, right? Ricky
for
would be
sure.
Tucson,
So that's
Ricky,
two. Uh huh.
yeah, J Will, J Will, Tyrese Martin, Drew Timmy, and Keon Johnson. That's six.
No, I'm listening. Go ahead.
Yeah, that was it. You hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
good.
No, no. You clear. You know what I'm saying? Or I was just talking to the wife. I ain't gonna lie to you.
Oh, all
But
right.
yeah. Nah. All right. So you got Ricky Council, Tucson, Jalen Wilson,
Yeah.
um, what else?
Tyrese Martin,
Tyrese Martin,
Drew Timmy,
Drew Timmy.
and you said Tucson already?
Yeah, damn man, Drew Timmy leaving ain't cool, man. I ain't
Keon,
gonna lie to you.
Keon, Keon would be the last one then.
Why Drew Timmy can't stay? Like, hold up,
Because I think Drew, I see the reason I didn't think Drew Timmy was going to stay because you got Danny. I think
right?
they gonna move him out
So,
the way for Danny.
And
so what
Clowney.
about So you don't, let me ask you this: do you think Daron Sharp is still the best rebounder on the team?
Yeah, yeah, definitely, still the best rebounder. Easy.
So you can't
Uh,
just replace Daron Sharp. You can't just he the best
nah,
rebounder on the team. You need
nah.
somebody who got a knack for getting rebounds and a
Danny
nose
can
for the
rebound.
ball.
Danny Wolf can rebound, but he gotta, you know what I'm saying, to do what Daron do, he gotta put on some, you know what I'm saying, he gotta put on some muscle.
Yo, I'm not trading Dayron unless somebody rebound better than him. If you don't rebound better than Dayron, yeah, I want to take all these 3 pointers. I need what a real power forward is supposed to do. A real power forward is what he really supposed to do is get more rebounds. He's supposed to get more rebounds than 3 pointers. They got power forwards getting more 3 pointers than rebounds. It's ridiculous. I'm keeping my 29th draft pick and Dayron Sharp, he stays. Out of all of these players that you mentioned like all these guards, so they definitely not outrated rebounding Dayron Sharp. I'm saying the value of his rebounding weighs more than a lot on this team. With no identity and not having no direction of where we going and what we doing. One thing we can rely on as the sun rises, Dayron Sharp is going to rebound. That's a fact. So I'm staying. I'm staying with Duke, bro. Pause. I'm not on the fence about keeping Dayron Sharp on the team. Like, y'all want to cut all these other players, just don't mention Dayron Sharp. Y'all want to, you know what I'm saying? So,
Interesting.
what's good, John?
Hey Breeze, good to be here. Hey Ice. Yeah, listen, the Keon move, I wasn't surprised about. He's one of the people on the bubble. I know some people are a little upset because they thought he could be some type of piece to help the young guys develop because he gives good defensive effort and his efficiency improved a bit. But if you look at the season in total, 3 quarters of the way, his efficiency numbers were really all over the place. He was really just trying to drop a lot of buckets because he wanted to be on the team. Like he was desperately trying to fight for a role last year. I mean, if you just saw the numbers or how many shots he was taking, it's like we understand it, but it's like he's really a third stringer on a good team. So I wasn't surprised that move was made today. I know Joey was Joey was talking about it on Ice's show, the tip off saying Neon Keon, he brings you that defensive grit. But you remove him out the equation. I think this team defensively is really set up to really have a tough season. It was already going to be tough, but you take away a defensive piece like him. Who are the other guys besides Zaire, maybe MPJ a
Hold,
little bit that give you
hold
that
on,
defensive
John.
presence?
John. Let's get this clear because I heard BK and Wild Hoops say this, and you know what I mean. I know shout out to BK and Wild Hoops, but small guard. Keon Johnson is a small guard. Y'all like the label, the narrative of Cam Thomas is that he's a small guard. But when I see Cam Thomas, I can see maybe he's an undersized two guard. I give you that. But to say he's a small guard, nah, that's Keon Johnson. You feel what I'm saying? There's a difference. You see what I mean?
Well, there's a difference between him and Cam. Keon has the vertical, but the thing is, Keon hasn't always used the vertical to his advantage, like his athletic ability with getting to rim. We've maybe seen a dunk here or there, but Keon's never used that to his advantage. And I think that's hurt his stock too, because everybody's always looked at what can he give you offensively, and he really hasn't done that much until maybe the end of last season where he started showing you a little bit, but it's just not enough. Like, I'm glad we got rid of Keon because he was never going to be a long-term fit. So take the Band-Aid off and let's move on. And like Isis just gave you a list of guys that are on the bubble: Tariq Whitehead, Jalen Wilson, Tyrese Martin, and Drew Timmy. Those are the four main guys who are on the bubble right now. I can see each and every one of them off this team before October comes. And it's unfortunate because some of these guys do want to be here and have a role. It's just we have such a roster crunch with the youth and some of the vets on the team that we have to make these tough decisions. But really, they're not so tough because you can see these guys as expendable pieces if you're trying to build something long term. The only problem is we really don't know what this organization's true goal is. They want positionless basketball, multi defenders, but what's the offensive system? Like defensively, I could see what Jordy kind of wants to do there, but who's going to carry your offensive system? If it's MPJ for this season, okay, but you got to hope you can get that offensive franchise guy in next year's draft, or else we really are an unbalanced unit from top to bottom. And losing
Yo, but
Keon
see, this
definitely
is
takes away
this,
your defensive effort a little bit.
but this is what I'm saying. I don't get the narrative that he don't fit with these whoever we draft next season. Like this, and again, the hype around these players, fine. It was hype around these players too, but we got the eighth pick. That hype quiet down. We
Mhm.
respect it, but at the end of the day, what we were hoping for, it wasn't the eighth pick. Let's be honest.
Right.
Now that being said, with Diego, that is the what I said. How you win, you get a situation like Kid, a big guard that can rebound and push the pace. That's part of the offense. Transition baskets. The winning teams do it. They thinking of how to win games, and this is how you know what I mean. They coaches, they put them, you know what I'm saying. They put their heads together, pause, and you know what I mean. Like case in point is like if you a stats guy, if you just wanted to you know, validate my word from stats. Look at the better teams in the NBA and look at the trend. That specific stat, transition points. You know what I'm saying? They do that. It's like I guess they call it like free baskets, free money. You know what I'm saying? It's easy. You know what I mean? The
Right.
hardest way to score is in a half court offense. If you're in a situation where you in a 4-on-3 and you pushing the pace, so you got the numbers is with you. You got a facilitator that can push the ball. Like Ben Simmons used to have mad space to attack, but he never attacked. If he would have developed
Right.
a midi, bro, he'd be cold. He said no to the Knicks. I guess I love him for that. But he's yo, bro. Hold on. Let's get Ice take on Ben Simmons saying no to the Knicks. Then we gotta go back to John. I just want to know what he think about that.
I
Yo,
want to
that
hear
was that
this.
was that was false news. False news. It wasn't real. It wasn't real.
Oh, all right, was it real? That's
Nah,
it.
it said that they were interested, but they never offered him a contract, and he never said no. You know what I mean? So that was just
Okay.
it was just talk. He said that he ain't retired yet, but it's still in the, you know what I mean? Still thinking about it type shit.
Yeah, that or Milan as a modeling
One
gig.
can only hope.
Yeah, but Breeze, you make a lot of interesting points here. Like, it's unfortunate the Cam situation really went so bad with the last 4 years, but this is what happens. We have a front office for the last 10 years that hasn't developed any young talent. Any young talent we found on this team. I know we had Karras and Allen, but we didn't get to see them really hit those marks because we traded them, to accommodate Kyrie and Katie. So it's like, really, we're starting from pure scratch this year, but it's like you got hope these five guys you drafted, we call them the Flatbush Five, that they can develop, work on the weaknesses, and at least be connectors to whoever you draft next year, because that's the main goal for these five guys, is to be rotation pieces at the very worst or the very best, which isn't bad because we need to assemble a core if we're ever going to be a legit team. Problem is, the last 10 years, this organization has gone through cores like more than anybody's business, and it's sad because how can you get the fans invested? How can you get the NBA invested if you keep flip flopping the team and trying to say it's all culture, 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 but we don't feel the culture? Like you even said, Breeze on Ice's show, a guy who is a lifetime fan with season tickets doesn't want to come see this season because what is there to cheer about? Five guys that have European type styles, but we don't know if they're going to blend well. Is Jordy going to handle the pressure of trying to balance everything out while trying not to win all the games equal impossible? Like, this is a crapshoot of a situation. This feels like a circus riot in
Yo, but
Brooklyn.
no, but listen, this is what I'm trying to tell you, John. Like, yeah, everybody got their own style. Every content creator, you know what I mean? They talk, they talk. Shout out to John. Talk your talk, bro. But I don't like vlogging what they do. Like, yo, you know how much Brooklyn Nets do that I don't like? Like, bro, I'm practically like a villain at this point, bro. Like every all the fans is against me when I'm saying keep Cam Thomas, and I'm saying the why on why I'm saying it. You know, I get a lot of pushback from the Nets fans. Like the moves that the Nets are doing, I disagree with. Like all of the stuff that they've been doing, I've been disagreeing with it. And what I'm saying is, and I'm glad we having this conversation because I was serious when I said it yesterday, but I want to further it because I want y'all to, I want Sean Marks to understand. You can win with the Brooklyn Nets not being a GM. Just you the governor. So that means you could just pick a different position. Just put a guy there that's just gonna be attentive to it. Put a guy there that you know what I'm saying. That you that cares about the job, that has integrity, that wants to win, a winner, a competitor, not somebody that's just there to clink Modelo's. For real, I'm just keeping it real with you. Get somebody that want to compete. Get a winner. Get somebody that you know what I'm saying. That talk that talk. You know what I mean? Give them an opportunity, not just somebody that's knows how to rub elbows. You understand? Somebody that will disagree with you, tell you why they're disagreeing with you, meet you at the medium or whatnot. But at the end of the day, you find a space where you gotta say that the lens that the coach is is watching because he's seeing the players, talking to the players, communicating with the players, should have more of a say than what maybe the GM says about the players. That in that conversation, the coach should have more to say. You know, like I don't like the Cam Thomas. Like the even with the whole thing with the ain't shit funny. That come from a real place. Like
Right.
they laugh. He doing great in practice, and then he don't get no minutes in the game, and then everybody got these narratives, and then content creators follow it because that's what the narrative is from the big media, and that's what I'll be mad at. I'll be mad at content creators following the big media. Y'all don't understand they got a script sometime that we the ones that got the freedom to say what we want to say. That they probably be tapping into our content, seeing what's going on, they remixing our shit. I'm just keeping it real with y'all. Know what I'm saying? It just is what it is. And at the end of the day, when you think about how you build a championship roster, is that what we doing?
Right.
You
And
feel me?
and
That's a question, bro. That's not me trying to. That's a question. Is that what we by trading away Cam Thomas for what? Is that what we doing? Not
and
taking care of Jared Allen. Was that productive for us? What did DeAndre do? What did DeAndre Jordan do when Jared Allen left for us to say, oh, it was a great deal for us to keep DeAndre Jordan? It's not just about Cam Thomas, it's mad shit. But I love basketball and I love Brooklyn. So, they got fans like me. But at the end of the day, treat us better. Treat us right. Do us better than how you been doing us. The fans,
right.
the fans care about winning in Brooklyn. That's a whole fact.
Right. They care about winning, but they also care about a culture and identity. And the thing I think is upsetting people is like we hear the stuff that, oh, they want to follow OKC, Indiana Pacers with their blueprint, but it's like you can't just put random pieces in a puzzle and hope they're going to do exactly what they're going to do. No, you got to invest in the right players that fit the model of Brooklyn culture. Like if you want my honest opinion, what Brooklyn identity should be, offensively, you make an impact every single night, and your defense is relentless. That's the two main things that should be about Brooklyn Nets. Should be, oh, we're going to shoot 50 to 100 threes a night. We're going to cause multiple turnovers, and we're just going to play patty cake with the ball all night. No, you got to have your set roles. You can't just have positionless basketball all willy nilly unless you
Yo,
have great players, and we
wait,
don't. We are
hold
literally
on, hold on.
starting from
Player one.
scratch right now.
Hold on, John. Let's get into player one comment, John.
Mhm.
John, player one said you acting like we drafted five Matisse Thybulls. Everybody we drafted has shown the ability to score at least an average level. First and foremost, to my knowledge, Matisse Thybulle is a great perimeter defender, and he could guard like 1 through 4, maybe 1 through 5. So it's not necessarily a bad thing. And I don't frown upon defensive players, especially on the perimeter when the modern NBA is about perimeter basketball. Back in the day, the interior used to dominate. Big men used to dominate. Now they switched it where the perimeter is dominant. I'm saying,
Right.
don't forget the midi, because the midi is friendly with the three and the, you know what I'm saying? In the inside game. How you ignore that?
Right. And to play
Don't
once.
don't like why wouldn't the midi be the medium? Because that's why they call it the midi. Like you're in the middle. That's why they call it the midi. You're in between the layup and the 3-pointer, right? Or the long jump shot. It's the
Right.
midi. Be
Right. And
friendly to the midi. Put the midi in the city and be friendly to the midi. Oh
I
nah,
like
all of
that.
this
It's
turning away from the midi, acting like the midi shouldn't be in the modern NBA, and then everybody riding with that narrative too, man. This shit is not justice.
right.
This shit,
And
this shit is hurting my nephew and soul. Yeah, and no content creator gonna speak up and say nothing about it.
right.
Y'all gonna let Adam Silver think it's okay to make the MIDI irrelevant. It's not true. When they showed the stat between Steph Curry and DeMar DeRozan, like it was really close. Like you would think Curry scored way more points than DeMar DeRozan, but it's not true. It's only a 1 point difference. Why is that shit so hard to understand? Yeah, it's a 3-pointer, but it's still a 1 point difference from a 2-pointer.
Right. You
It's
need
not that serious. Listen, if my thing is I'm not scared to be, I could trail. Like that's what I'll be wanting with teams too, because they gotta be perfect or you could take the lead. Like you ever see us go down by like 5? We go down by like 5. And then you know what I'm saying they'll take a 3-pointer, they're trying to cut it down by 2, or and we'll miss, and then the leader get bigger from 5. No, stay in within 5. We just score a basket. You don't have to make it a 3-pointer. You don't have to look for a 3-pointer. You don't even have to look for a 3-pointer just because we down by 5. Be tougher than that. Like still go to the paint or look for a 3-pointer, go into the paint. Like go hard to the paint. It's only a 1 point difference. It ain't like you shooting a 4-pointer. Then I mean, it's a little different, know what I'm saying. But it ain't no 4-pointers in the NBA. So come on, man.
Right. It should be balanced basketball. And player one, to address your comment, the biggest criticism from the Brooklyn base has been on draft night. You drafted not only one, two, three, four, but five playmakers. And the worry with the base is you drafted players with similar skills and overlapping skills, but it's like you need balance. It's great to have playmakers, guys that can distribute and all that, but you need balance on offense, athletic ability, like different types of skill sets. It felt like this organization, they were cheering like they drafted the best players at specific positions, but really they reached on 3 out of 5 guys. Let's call it what it is: Yegor, Powell, and um, Saraf. Those were reaches. You know, the Drake Powell one, were reaches. The Nolan Trio one made sense because that was in a mock draft, and Danny Wolf, those made sense. But the other three were reaches. You'd have to draft those guys' positions. You had guys like Maliwak. You had guys like Rasheer Fleming. You had Nick Clifford, Asu Noel. I mean, Ice basically gave us the whole list this whole summer of guys, and him too. I remember Ice's reaction on draft night. I want to throw a freaking chair out the window. It was just like, really? This is what you guys spent the last 8 months looking at? And you decide we need 5 playmakers. Listen, I hope all 5 of these guys work out, but it's like you look at our roster top to bottom, it's so inconsistent. Like you could have balanced out draft night with getting a wing or two, another center so you can move Claxton eventually. But it's like, where's the balance? Like this is what
Yo,
you have the
hold on,
highest
Ice.
scouting
Let Ice answer that question. Like for real, Ice. Where's the balance? Like Ice get in this conversation.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
Ice. Like what you think about that? You know what I'm saying? We did. He said just player one question. He said you acting like we drafted 5 Matisse Thybulles. Everybody we drafted has shown the ability to score at least at average level.
yeah.
How you feel about that comment? What do you feel about defenders and drafting defenders and just
Well, we didn't really draft defenders. They played somewhat defense. All the dudes that we drafted averaged at least one steal wherever they played at, one steal a game. or 1.2 or 1 point whatever. So they could play some defense. You know what I mean? They're not great defenders, but they could play some defense. And to his point, they're not similar. The only skill set that's similar is the ability to pass the ball. Like everybody's skill set is different. Nolan Traore is like a regular. He a point guard. He can score. He is a scoring point guard, I should say. You know what I'm saying? But he can also get assists and he can move the ball and he's quick. Like Saraf is he's a scoring guard, you know what I'm saying? But he's the best off the dribble passer in the draft. You know what I'm saying? Yagor, a wing, you know what I'm saying? Point forward, slower, taller, you know what I'm saying? Who got Ben Simmons type vision, you know what I'm saying? And then Danny's a connector. Danny's
Okay.
run the floor, run pick and roll. He basically ran
Well,
Michigan's.
you mean connected like Sabonis?
Like Danny's like he a connector. You know what I'm saying? You give Danny the ball, he could run your offense. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if he could do it on NBA level, but college level, he ran Michigan's offense. And Drake Powell can score a little bit, but he's the defender. You know what I'm saying? But he can also make passes and plays. You know what I'm saying? So their skill set is not quite the same as just the passing. Guys, they just went for guys who can pass the ball at a high level. You know what I'm saying? They could do other stuff, but it's at a high level.
Yeah. So what about not drafting a defender? How you feel about that?
Drake is the defender. Drake is the only real defender that
Okay.
his number one thing is defending. You know what I'm saying?
Then I'm against him going to the G League off rip.
It depends on who they keep on the team. I mean, up on the NBA level.
Bruh, they gotta make space for all these rookies, bro. What? Okay, so they don't got Keon Johnson because they got Nolan Traore. That's fair.
Yep, that's what it is.
And they got Kobe, so that automatically pushed Keon right out. Getting
That
bumped
too.
in.
That too.
And that's my problem. Like, I like the four guys we drafted: Powell, Wolf, Nolan, and Jaeger. I think all four of them could be good potential rotation pieces. The Saraf move still makes no sense because you have 10 guards on this team. Why get Buffy and all these other guys if you were going to waste your pick on Saraf? It feels to me like that was just a throw in, like, oh, this is a emergency point guard if, Nolan and Jaeger get hurt and we need to throw this guy in. Like, it felt like it was a waste of a pick because you have all these guards. Like, I don't know how anybody could justify getting Saraf was a good choice. And if Saraf proves me wrong, I'll be one of the first to admit, hey, I was wrong about the guy. But that move just feels like such a throwaway because you have 10 guards on the team. Like, what are we doing here? Having guards and playmakers, I understand, but this team is lacking athleticism, lacking strong wings, lacking an actual center. Like, those are key problems that we have to address within the next year and a half. And right now, we just have all these guards. That don't
Yo,
make
but hold
sense to
on,
me.
hold on. Zaire Williams, man, he's our wing. Like, let's slow it down, man. I
Yeah,
ain't
he's a
saying Zaire Williams is the best wing ever, but
good
come on,
benchman. He's a
man.
good
I gotta
benchman,
give him some
Breeze.
kind of credit, bro. He locked up Brandon Ingram, so he played defense. And again, our players make other players better. You put Drake Powell next to Ingram, that's a defensive backcourt. I'm putting Drake Powell at the two guard. If we trying to lock up as if it's the fourth quarter and they best play out there from reputation, obviously. I'm putting Drake Powell out there. But Zaire Williams, oh yeah, he in there for sure. That's not no reputation. I seen him play. I seen him
He,
lock up.
he'd
Like,
be a
yo,
good
bro,
bench
yeah,
unit.
hold on. Let me just say this one thing, John. Bro,
Mhm.
the game was I keep mentioning that referencing when he was Brandon Ingram because the game was on the line, bro. If he doesn't stop Brandon Ingram, they win the game.
Right.
Simple. Zion Williams played them one on one. There was no screens, nothing. And he stopped them. Like what more you want from your wing, man? Like and that was the first time he was really getting minutes because GG Jackson took his minutes. But I'm glad he signed, man. I'm glad he back. I ain't saying he best. I understand what you're saying about strong wings. Like you must be talking about Scottie Pippen or some type shit. Like
Well, next year's draft, there's some good wings, but I agree with you. Listen, I'm happy we got Zaire back. I think he's Jordy's first real success story of his coach career because Zaire came with so many weaknesses. One of his biggest weaknesses, 3-point shooting, was the best on the team. And defensively, from the get go, last preseason, he was bouncing into announce tables trying to prove that he's ready to be here. I think Zaire could be a great bench piece for us. He's almost like a Bruce Brownish type player. Like, he can do different things. rim run. He could actually do a few lobs. He can shoot a three, a midi. Like he does all different things to play winning basketball. I would be happy him being one of our rotation bench pieces. But for now, he could start. But when we get that, if we get that wing next year, move him to the bench. Let him be a great bench guy. I'm fine having Zaire on his team as one of our main bench and culture defender guys. Totally fine with that. But we definitely got to get better and bigger in the front court because our front court's a huge weakness. A Zaire and PJ Claxton front court is not going to scare a lot of people. So I hope we do address that in the next year or two because we are not
But
going to be a serious team until we have a good front court.
yeah, I'm not. And at the end of the day, I'm not going to never let y'all forget that Cam Thomas and Dennis Schroeder is a good front court. Back court, I
Backcourt
mean.
back.
Never. I'ma never let y'all forget that shit. Cause y'all broke that up for what we got right now. Okay. This is what it is. Y'all don't hear me bitching about it. But that's the bar. Oh, it's the rookie year. Hi, yeah, 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 yeah. We gonna see what's up. We gonna see what's up. Let me explain what Schroeder is without saying he this or that. Just as a player, what he did. He used that pick. Yo, if there was ever a point guard we had that used a pick and roll, it was Dennis Schroeder. That shit is beautiful basketball. He's inside the 3-pointer, using the pick and roll, and he got the midi, and he could go to the rim. He a winner, bro. I know people want to have a narratives about Dennis Schroeder, bro. He came to the Nets and he was hooping. He probably second to D'Lo in recent history. Definitely better than what Spencer Dinwiddie was doing last stint.
I think he
Definitely
won an
better than
Emmy.
that.
I think he won an Emmy today, Breeze. They announced that the Nets won an Emmy for a documentary episode about his upbringing and his life. I don't know if you remember on
Oh
YouTube, it was
yeah,
like an origin story. Look, so this guy won a medal and an Emmy, and the Brooklyn Nets still haven't
yo,
made a conference finals appearance in 10 years. It's hilarious and sad.
yo, yo. No, they have the theater. They rent out the Brooklyn Nets
Hmm.
rent out a theater in Cobble Hill, Brooklyn,
Right.
and you like see the movie. I went for the Cam Thomas one. I ain't go for the Dennis Schroeder one, but the Dennis Schroeder one, if you look it up on YouTube, it's huge. Pause. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Like that shit was and when I seen the theater is dope. Sarah Cousteau was there interviewing Cam Thomas. So I imagine that, Dennis Schroeder was getting interviewed by Sarah Cousteau as well. It's like a vibe. I met Jordy Fernandez. You know what I'm saying? Jordy Fernandez with his whole family. I'm telling you, y'all thought I was like I really met Jordy Fernandez. He was walking out. I was like, yo, man, it's nice meeting you. I'm a big fan of Breezy. He was like, okay. And he just kept walking, you know what I'm saying? He was with his family. And that's when I had spit the ball for Cam Thomas moms. Word. But
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
on my but I'm on my phone. That's why I ain't throw the link in the chat. I got 3% leaf. I know I ain't gonna be able to end the show if you come on the panel. I'm about to close out right now. Shout out to Leaf, shout out to Dwabby17, shout out to Orange Spiegel, RC the man, Player One, Daniel Sports Highlights. I don't even see him, I'm just shouting him out. Shout out to Wu Pig, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to all y'all, man. Facts. Shout out to everything Brooklyn Nets, John, and shout out to Ice. Hey man, um, I got 3% on my phone. Know what I'm saying, I just wanted to say what I said about Keon Johnson. It's not gonna be a 2-hour stream, but I'm gonna be back with more content really soon. Um, appreciate y'all, man. Nets fans is the best fans. Later, y'all. Peace.
Uh,